Hello, what is up? What is good? We have a new chapter of One Piece. This is 1124 called Close Friend. That could be referring to literally anything. The world is our oyster once again as we sail away from Egghead, and I really don't know where the story will go next. In a very practical sense, I'm almost positive the story will go to Elbaf, but in terms of what events will occur on the way there, or what other glimpses around the world we're going to be treated to in the traditional One Piece interim between arc, or what crazy events might happen on the ship. Will I get my beloved Admiral sitting there in the pose that Robin did, having snuck away from Egghead along them with them? Uh, I doubt it. But I want to believe. I want to believe. I just think he's such a cool character. Anyways, we are seeing Yamato continue his pilgrimage around Wano. Still hasn't gone out to sea. Preventing an abduction on the road to Kuri. Kuri, of course, was very desolate during the reign of Kaido, and probably is still taking some time to get back up on its feet. Okay, let's plunge into the chapter. What's going on? All right, first we cut, perhaps quite appropriately, to Morgans floating around on the news balloon, angling for some scoop. Time to get the dance floors of the world bouncing, folks. We got a fresh set list of tracks packed full of new news. Give them fear. Paint a picture of utter disaster in the future. I like that this guy is scum. And the World Economic Journal is just sort of like yellow journalism and full of fake stories and propaganda and fear-mongering. But he's also kind of like an ally because he goes against the world government. He has no sympathies towards them and will publish news no matter what the impact is. Okay. You falsehood amplifying albatross. Oh, is that what he is? He's an albatross. I assume he came from Zoe, that he was one of the animal people, but that never was really explained. I don't think he has like a devil fruit that makes him look like that. I think he's just an animal. Yeah, and her and Wapple having to be little sycophants for this crazy William Hearst style figure. Good. The truth's a good tale as well. The whole world singing the sea. Sky is my home. I guess it'll be my era soon. I'm gonna take that attitude with me. Set you back in days ahead. Yeah, he's really angling for the top. In his own way, he is vying for seats of power in the world. Well, this is gonna be destroyed. I don't expect to live through it anyways. Wow. It's kind of hardcore. It's how I personally feel about most apocalyptic situations. That when people say, what would you do if there is a zombie apocalypse? Or a meteor crashes into the world? Or whatever. I'm like, I would probably die. Like, realistically, wouldn't I probably die? If the vast majority of people end up dead because of this, why would I assume that I would be alive? Just through random chance? Nah, I think I would lose that lottery. Okay. Meanwhile, now, the events that we've seen scattered through at Egghead are making the news. Blackbeard fighting Law. Seems like Law lost. Law did not make the spread of major players in the final saga. Kid versus Shanks. Kid lost pretty badly. It looks like he is not going to be appearing in the stage of Titans. And Luffy murders Vegapunk. Yeah, I don't think so, but they're going to be running with it. Oh, Sentomaru made it. Good. I was pretty sure Sentomaru was going to make it. Oda seems to have a soft spot for this character in a lot of ways. When you're thinking about like the notable namespaces of Japanese mythical figures and such, Sentomaru and the origin it implies, and just kind of the characterization Oda gave him in reference to these historic tales, plus his still kind of crazy claim that he made out of nowhere that he was the man with the strongest defenses in the world. I feel like Oda still maybe has some plans for Sentomaru. So it's nice to see confirmed alive, rowing in a tiny, teeny, tiny rowboat away from the smoldering egghead. Oh, and here's Kizaru. Not on the going the Thousand Sunny, unfortunately. Oh, shut up. Every last one is asleep and foaming at the mouth. Saint Saturn unharmed. What about the power plant and escapees? So yeah, Aka Inu doesn't even know that the other Gorosei were summoned there. He doesn't know that they were all involved in combat. He doesn't know anything at all about what unfolded here in Egghead. I really like that Borsalito. It's like the more you think about his situation and what he has to explain to Aka Inu, the more him just picking up the phone and going, "Oh, shut up," makes a lot of sense. I report the sun in once the youngins wake up. I've done a soppy job on this one. I don't know about that. Have you ever killed a close friend? And seeing that one shot of Sentomaru with a tear going down his face, there really is a lot of tragedy in the aftermath of this, you know? Like, we can see this arc as somewhat of a triumph. They escaped, they dealt a major blow in releasing this news to the world. The world government has been put on a back foot in a way that it hasn't in its entire history. But Vegapunk is dead. The whole Stella system is basically wiped out. And the people mourning it are even just as much as the pirates and the people that supported his work are the people that regretted what they felt like they had to do. If you ever killed a close friend. This is just an excuse. What you really want is my brain. How much can you pay in research funds? So yeah, he was always a bro, Kizaru. Kizaru and Sentomaru and even Kuba, they're all buds. It's crazy how fate twists these relationships. And I love how One Piece shows not just some singular moment of betrayal causing a binary A and then B, but that this was a long relationship that developed slowly and evolved slowly and eventually became this tragic, unsustainable thing. I don't know if I did a sloppy job, Sakazuki. If you have time to sit there and doubt me, then come over here and see my work for yourself, you ungrateful brat. Oh. It's a strange character. Strange character. More and more it feels like we're being pushed to ride a fine line of these characters' sympathies, you know? Akino, pretty repulsive, pretty horrible, but here he shows a small amount of compassion to Kizaru. He shows a little bit of care and understanding. And Kizaru also has done horrific things, but this arc really humanized him and made us understand the conflicts within him, too. I think this is all very intentional. Because I'm still of the opinion that at the very end, One Piece is going to be a conflict where all the good guys fight all the bad guys. And saying it like that sounds trite, but I think that will just be the most cathartic, satisfying, comprehensive conclusion possible. And so all of our most sympathetic Marines at some point, I think, are going to rebel against the world government. Maybe some other government agencies as well. Whereas other pirates, like the nefarious Blackbeard and maybe Cross Guild and stuff, are going to end up allying against this rebellious pirate force and trying to preserve the status quo in some shape or form. So I think the more they make these characters ambiguous, the more open this question becomes of which side people will fight on, which is very exciting. Done pirating. Sounds like they only had one mug each. Yeah, we got our traditional cheer shot, but very quickly it switched to Sanji reflecting on the death of Vegapunk, and That attitude has really carried over here. By the way, I never noticed on the giant pirate's ship that there's like this log house on it. This longhouse, old Viking style building. I really love it. Oh yeah, I forgot you'd always say Rayquaza. Five Alders, a Navy Admiral, CP0, the Seraphim, and a blockade of battleships. Miracle we escaped that hell, I still can't entirely wrap my mind around it. Is the robot! The big robot saved you from the past. Pathetic, he's one of the 4 emperors now. He's moping over one geezer dying. Zoro still wants to party. But Lilith made it. Okay, so the Cella system is somewhat online. York, of course, is still kicking, but obviously that's not very helpful for them. I like that they're just all chilling out and sleeping on the padding of one chair with the little ladder. Oh, that's so great. And Elbaf is going to be full of stuff like this. I really love it. Failed to bring anyone else but you. We're so sorry. Alice knocked you out. Yeah, I was about to say, so Lilith is the evil one. And of all the kind of Vegapunk functions, I think hers was one of the hardest to pin down. You know, what kind of contributions was she making? It seems like maybe she was the one, yeah, to kind of be, give a cold shoulder to things and be pragmatic and not get caught up in sentimentality or anything. So yeah, she gets over Vegapunk dying pretty quickly. Vegapunk cut the greed out of his brain. Said I'd save the old apple man. He's so depressed he's only eaten 5 bunches of grapes. Well, yeah, I mean, he should eat a lot more. He should eat some meat. That's what he really needs to revive. So yeah, this is quite interesting. This is kind of a rare occurrence in One Piece where, you know, there's been deaths before, and they've been mourned to some extent. But usually it's a death made in, like, sacrifice. You know, my last brilliant act is to ensure your safety by giving up my own life. And so the mourning is always kind of, like, balanced by the spirit of, well, we have to just move on for their sake. We have to overpower our temptation to just grieve and despair and think optimistically towards the future. And for here, it's a little different because it's kind of like, well, Vegapunk, you know, at the end he sacrificed himself because he knew about the dead man's switch, but he didn't really want to die. Like on outside of that situation, he really didn't like want to end it all right there. And he asked for help. He asked for safety and escape. And it makes sense that Luffy feels like he failed him. Huh? I was crying earlier because I was sad about everyone else's death, but it's only death by your concept of it. The truth is, they're all alive. To you, they're dead. So, this is now, it's like Lilith has reabsorbed all of the other Vegapunks. Lilith is Vegapunk now. We have Babapunk as the permanent, all-knowing, all-comprehensive Vegapunk. See, I thought something was like this was gonna happen. I should have predicted it even more. I was like, they can't stay on the somber note for long. Especially with a new arc starting, especially with all these crazy twists that I'm sure will come soon. It can't have that stain, that heaviness. That just doesn't feel like One Piece. I knew something like this was going to happen. So yes, I think there's not as bad as it seems. Alright, now it's time. Now it's time to feast. I like that they don't explain to Zoro why Luffy is feeling better, and he probably thinks like, yeah, he got over it. That old man is dead, who cares? Alright, everybody's partying. Robin gives Chopper a nice hug. Good, good. Whoever finds the One Piece will run the whole world. Maybe that was a Freudian slip. Ruin the whole world, run the whole world. The whole reason I went to sea. I don't care if you guys end up as my enemies. I know it's gonna be me in the end. Ho, ho, ho. Ship charts a course northeast. En route to the storied land of Elbaf, home of the giants. Okay, and at the end, another One Piece classic. A silhouette of somebody sitting and boozing. Could be a lot of people. There's a lot of big boozers in this series. I'm thinking probably Shanks. I think just the demeanor, the big hat that this person seems to be wearing, the fact that they're sat next to what appears to be the large root of a tree or something like that, illustrating, I think, subtly subconscious understanding that this is a small, non-giant character. Yeah, that's my guess. I think we're gonna have a little encounter with Shanks here to kind of kick off this next phase of the final saga. It's still the final saga. Fantastic, good stuff. Good stuff. Interesting chapter. Very tonally different than a lot of One Piece series or One Piece chapters. Uh, Much more kind of somber, melancholy, sentimental, but well executed, and I think giving the weight that Vegapunk deserves as a character. Okay, we will see you next Sunday. Goodbye for now.